Lesson number 2, Surviving Corporate 101, cover your back. So this is directly related to lesson number 1, which is that you need to take your own notes in every meeting, and also related to a comment that was left on that video. I think it was by Joe, who said that not only should you take your own minutes, but you should send a follow-up email to confirm. That phrase, cover your back, really annoyed me throughout my entire corporate career, because although I knew that a paper trail was needed, it highlighted the fact that you couldn't just take somebody's word for it in a conversation, and that we were operating in a space that was psychologically unsafe. Because if ish ever hit the fan, if something went wrong, or if you had to be held accountable for something, you could not rely on anyone to say that, oh yes, in this conversation that we had that was just verbal, I agree to that. They will throw you under the bus. And it's directly related to a phrase that was said, if it's not written down, it hasn't happened. So you need to make sure that there is a paper trail for everything that you do. And that paper trail looks like coming out of a meeting and sending an email confirmation. And it doesn't even have to be a formal meeting. It can literally just be you're sitting there, your manager comes to your desk and says something, and out of that comes an action or an instruction or even a suggestion of something, and you go along and you do it. You need to follow that up with an email that just says something along the lines of, as per our conversation, this is the action that is agreed. That way, if you're ever being held to account for something, you have email confirmation that this conversation actually happened, because there will be times when it will be said, no, that conversation never happened. Believe it or not, it will happen. The second way that you cover your back is by keeping those email threads. Email threads have saved my life on more than one occasion. I remember being asked by my manager why a particular task hadn't been done, and I was just like, no, that's not my task. That's the other manager's task. And the reason why it was coming to me was because we were working in such a way that some of the tasks were being shared between the teams because we were low on resources. But this particular task was not mine. And so the manager went back to my fellow colleague, and then I started seeing emails going back and forth with my name being mentioned with, no, this was Rachel that was supposed to do it. Now I'm being thrown under the bus for something that had nothing to do with me. Thank goodness for email threads, because I had actually seen the manager face to face and said, this wasn't mine. And this manager was looking at me in my eye and saying, no, it was you. I went back to my desk and I started going through the email threads to one of the original emails that was sent between myself and that manager, to find where they had said that they would be carrying out this particular action with their member of staff. And all I did was take that email and send it into the email thread with our manager and that manager. And I heard nothing from there. No apologies, no nothing, but it was very clear whose lap that task sat in. So keeping those email threads, whether you have to do it in folders or whatever, is a really good way of covering your back, because your colleagues will have no hesitation to throw you under the bus when they know that they've messed up. The third way of covering your back is by making sure that you agree and review minutes. Whenever minutes are being taken in a meeting, I'm usually quite relieved, because it means that there is a formal means of accounting for what has happened in the meeting. However, in one of my roles, I was responsible for reviewing minutes from a particular meeting, and I cannot tell you the amount of mistakes that were in meetings, with conversations being recalled incorrectly, with actions being assigned to the wrong people, actions being totally overlooked and not even in the minutes. So even though it's a relief sometimes when you have somebody taking minutes in a meeting, do not expect those minutes to be 100% correct, especially where there are actions assigned to you or your team. Make sure that you are taking that responsibility and reviewing those minutes to make sure that they are accurate before they are agreed, because they're after they're agreed, where were you? Did you not read the minutes? How are you now saying that it's not correct? Because we've all agreed these minutes. Covering your back is about you taking responsibility for your own actions and you taking responsibility for your reputation and your work. You have to take responsibility for everything that your name is attached to. Don't ever hand out that responsibility to somebody else. So when it comes to covering your back, as difficult as that may seem, if you are in those spaces, it is a very important one that you cannot overlook.